Alright guys, I am back for another episode, and I'm an optimist, pessimist, but these days, there's nothing to be happy or optimistic about, because the stuff that's happening around, especially in the air, could kill you. And these guys go and keep fudging these numbers of AQI, and you wonder why. Our lungs know it, our muscles know it at our age. But do you know why they do this? And they've gotten rid of GARP. And yesterday and in the morning, I checked the AQI in my house in DEFCOL, which is full of green, was 320, right? They do it for their builder buddies. It's all about Rekha Gupta, BJP, and their money making machine, which is the construction industry. If you see Delhi, this whole thing is being demolished. All the old government properties to build a new, and contracts with buddies. You know who has them, right? So one thing I want to tell you: truth is not criticism, right? This is really funny. And somebody is writing it. Your economy is sinking, your news is propaganda, your roads melt, your children are suffering. If speaking truth makes me the enemy, the lies have already won. And that's an important point that I must, and this continues here. Your fighter jets are crashing, your passenger airplanes are crashing, your passenger buses are catching fire, your air is poisoned. Each week, 100 of you die in some accident or another. Your school children are jumping before trains, your trains are derailing and entering your living rooms. Your diaspora is currently the most hated in the world, which is true now. Your tourists are the worst, especially in Europe. Your rupee is at the lowest it has ever been. Your movie, and it's the worst performing across regions. Your movies are propaganda. True. Your news are propaganda. True. Your viral content is propaganda. So for all my buddies who keep saying that, I should be not biased, this is the reality. Your music is propaganda. People play games online to find a corner of your vast country where there is no garbage and everyone loses this game. Your son is dancing before mosques during Ram Nami, and your daughter is dancing for reels, which your PM says is job creation. Your judiciary is slower than a turtle having a stroke. This is the funniest one. You got Surya Kant now, right? Your paneer is not paneer. Your milk is not milk. Your cough syrup is not cough syrup. However, the cow urine you slurp each morning is indeed cow urine. Your roads minister is selling you sugarcane petrol instead of fixing the billion potholes and melting highways. Your policemen make more than CEOs, and that too in cash. Your natural resources are handed over to either a Adani or a Mani for a few rupees, depending on whether it's an odd or even day. All this because you wanted Abdul to suffer. Now both you and Abdul are suffering, and neither of you can ask any questions. And that, folks, it can be the reality. And this is what's going to save us. PM to hoist Ram temple flag at grand event today. And the reality, the Shankaracharya says, you got to actually climb up and put the flag on the shikhar, on the shikhar, right? You can't hoist it, right? Old wounds are healing. PM says at Ram temple, my old wounds are not healing. I didn't have any wounds to start with. PM focuses on civilizational pride, takes dig at historians. What civilizational pride? Tell me. Really? Nothing about the Vedic period is available around me anymore. But especially when you're destroying the environment for a few bucks more. Adani is cutting down bloody trees all across Chhattisgarh and Bihar in the name of money, and you are saying, what? Civilizational pride? Wow. Prayed for Ram at Gurdwara. He's one of the funniest looking Sardars I've seen, is Modi. I mean, he's like a funniest looking anything. He puts a turban on, he puts a cap on, he puts any headgear that he can possibly lay his hands on, man. People who died for Ram Temple must be at peace now, says RSS. The RSS chief is the head of a terrorist organization almost, right? Saffron flags heisting marks start of new era, says UP. No, the UP is here, man. Can you imagine this dhoti badi in the White House? Come on. And that's civilization, really. Protesters, and this, folks, is the reality. Protesters demand clean air amid worsening pollution, 5 detained. This is how we treat our children, right? New Delhi, and this is the other big one. New Delhi protests as Beijing crashes Arunachal's power. You have this Rajnath, big mouth Rajnath. First he wants POK, that's Shah, right? Then he wants to change and gets it. I thought all this was possible at one time. But after Article 370, and I was all for Article 370, right? But what I didn't see is the chain of events that triggered off as far as China was concerned. China made that, at that time, it made a strategic move to tie in completely with Pakistan. And that became a big worry for us. Arunachal, integral part of India, government tells China, and this is all we're going to do, and all fat MEA guys come up, Telis and bloody Jay Aswal. China's arbitrary action unhelpful in stabilizing ties. So what the hell does China care? They keep listening to these gramophone that keeps coming up. And don't tell me, Mr. Guy sitting wherever you are, that I'm biased. This is all nonsense, right? When you lost so much land to the Chinese are bloody, has already told you blatantly and no reaction that Arunachal is part of this. And that is their game. I don't know when you'll figure this out. Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and an inalienable part of India, says MEA. And soldiers can't put personal faith over forces, ethos, says SC. This is important, right? I remember my dad did that. My dad never refused to go to, always was there with the soldiers, whether it was Gurdwara, obviously, the Mandir, obviously, the church, obviously. And I think even if there was a masjid, I'm sure he would have gone there too, right? Operation Sindoor, guided by Lord Krishna, messages Rajnath does not know Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is guiding Operation Sindoor, right? Guys, I throw my hands up. I really do throw my hands up, just like most of the Pakistanis and the rest of the world. This is what we are, on the other hand, worried about. Move of UP teachers recruitment test triggers uproar over repeated delays. And guess what? Mother of Agniveer who died on duty. So Agniveer is the biggest destruction that has happened to our armed forces. Biggest destruction, just like demonetized. Believe me, time will come and kick us in our ass shortly, right? Because then you have Fadnavis, another Fatu. We will burn Lanka. Fadnavis responds to Shinde's death. If this Fatu goes to Sri Lanka, they'll hammer the shit out of them. I mean, we just for internal politics, we're using all kinds of terminology that makes no sense at all. And what we should be worried about is this: stir over unhygienic food and water turns violent in Bhopal. In Bhopal, there must have been some slimy BJP Bhagwa contractor, and this is what happened. This is happening all over the place, right? And deaths all over the place, right? One Gujarat BLO dead, another in hospital, third threatened suicide, another Bengal BLO dead, suicide note, blame Messiah. And this has happened in UP too. And he says that because he's been forced to cut the OBCs out of the list, right? Adani looks to acquire Pila Training Company FF. Why don't we give everything? But by the way, it's not all Adani, right? It's all Indian banks at the end of the day. He's not a bright fellow, right? Up BLO takes poison and UP BLO, that's what I said, and leaves behind video of stress. Bengal BLO, that's what BLOs are protesting now. Inhumane search stress. They are the ones who are getting after this, right? And then brilliantly all for our punks who want to see the positive and no bias. Says this: Rupee is Asia's worst performing currency. This is in the Hindu. The domestic currency may slide to 90. I'm saying it's gone to 100. And then this. All you guys who think everybody can't do without India. Net FDI negative for second straight month in September. Okay. Travel high. Foreign spends at 13-month peak. Everybody is running away to spend. At 2.8 billion, outward remittances up 1% in September. Transfer in first half of FY. Okay. Caste must not be allowed to divide whatever. CGI is such a gas bag. Caste, they want to institutionalize caste. The Suryakant and his brethren in the BJP. They're not talking about divide. They just want it to stay as is. They want you to be able to clean their toilets, right? That's what this whole game is all about, folks. And so, watch what's coming up, and then we'll go to the next video. It's all dismal, folks. It's all dismal.